Hey guys, what's up? Johnny here and welcome back to another Sorare video. In today's video, we're going to be diving into one of the things that really bothered me this past game week. One of the things that I keep thinking about, and I sat there actually figuring out the point totals for my players and all that for. If you remember last week or last game week before we started, actually like 2 videos ago, I had a lineup that was an under 23 super rare, and I said I would love to play under 23 super rare before my Osako his season is over. And well, it has happened. It has happened. Let's go into the leaderboards and let me show you guys what has actually happened. What's the issue that I'm currently having to live through? So when you look at the leaderboards and we go down here and look at the prize pools as well, you can see that a 4th to 11th gets a tier 2 super rare. So right now, guys, as we speak, I would have had 425 points, which puts me into the 10th position, and I would have won a tier 2 super rare on the 23 if I actually trusted my guts and just went for it, but I didn't. And it is what it is, and it has been an overall very frustrating game week, if you ask me. Let me show you how things have gone here. When we go into my Sorare results, you'll be able to tell Mace Hilgers, 100 points. I did use him, but I didn't use him in the under 23 super rare. Marcelinho Nunes, 95.4 points, super rare in our club. Again, didn't use him. Diego Palacios, 92.9 points. Did not use him. Umar Solé, 86.5. Guess what? Didn't use him because he wasn't guaranteed to play. Like, it has been one of the most painful game weeks. Tayyip Sanuc has been used in the specialist rare, picked up a 74 point total. That's the first player we can look at and the first lineup. Specialist rare didn't necessarily work out into my favor. Getzer Fernandez only came off the bench. So, yeah, that one didn't work out too well. Spikic in a 4-1 win did not get any decisives for Zagreb, which is a huge letdown. Gindo coming up with another 55 plus, which is basically his bare minimum in a 3-2 loss. So I like to see that. Specialist rare goalkeeper has conceded a bunch of goals, which was to be expected according to the stats. So I'm not necessarily surprised there. My only hope was him not conceding 3 and still somehow getting decent AA score, which didn't work out. Under 23 rare, a bit of a mess. Arjunet Muric and Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Muric was on like 60 plus, or like an actual really good number, and Harwood-Bellis was on like 55 or something. And then they conceded in the latest of minutes, and that completely ruined this lineup. Kökçü and Szymanski from Feyenoord. Kökçü had a decent all-round game, but Feyenoord didn't play too well. Szymanski only came off the bench. I'm fully expecting him to start in this midweek because Feyenoord hasn't been able to get the best results without him, from what I've been able to tell so far. And Šeško, in a game against Lask, a very, very tough game, had 0 shots on target, but did have 3 attempted assists, so that's good to see that he's still partaking in the game. But generally speaking, under 23 rare, down the drain. And here comes the pain. Under 23 rare pro, we have Osako with 65.8 points. Great score for no clean sheet. Mace Hilgers with 122 points. If you guys remember, I wanted to captain him in my under 23 super rare, which would have given him 1.44 multiplier, and that would have been like no, 1.42. That would have been 142 points off of just Mace Hilgers for the under 23 super rare. Enzo Fernandez, despite playing, as many people have said, this is one of the toughest games when it comes to the Portuguese league, apparently, when you play away against Vitória Guimarães, and that has turned out to be very true. So he hasn't been able to get the best score. And of course, it's his worst score. I picked him up, and immediately he has picked up a bad score, so that's fine. Now he's going to play against PSG, where he's going to pick up another bad score, I'm assuming. And I probably picked up Enzo at the worst time. But it's not someone that I'm only holding for the next couple of weeks. I have plans of holding this guy for at least 2 years, so I'm fine with that. Xavi Simons didn't perform, man. The entire PSV lineup did not perform. The likes of Gakpo, Simons, Sangare, all these guys have let everyone down that put their money on PSV Eindhoven. And that happens at times, right? It's not an ideal situation. He got subbed off after 60 minutes, which gives me hope that he hopefully starts in the Europa League matchup for them. And then Odgaard, which was the biggest of pains, he was sick, apparently. So there were absolutely no news on him being sick at the time when we were building our lineups. And yeah, for some reason, he has not played for AZ Alkmaar, which is painful. Jesper Karlsson is back, and he has scored a goal, which is good to see. So ideally, the situation would be Jesper Karlsson goes on to the left here, and Odgaard is in the center playing for them. But yeah, in a 4-1 win, I'm assuming that with Odgaard, he would have probably gotten an assist or a goal as well. Tijani Reinders, again, with incredible performances. What a player he is. But yeah, that is sadly the situation for this week. Now, this upcoming game week, let's dive into it together and build the lineups and see what we kind of like, what we think we should be targeting. So first of all, if I'm looking at like underdog rare or anything like this, I don't necessarily think I can put in a full lineup. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Like, let's go Pau Torres. I could go Szymanski. I could go Šeško. I could go Spikic. I mean, Spikic, I don't know. He has played the full game, I believe. So midweek, I'm assuming he might be rested. But then again, he's up against Šeško and against Salzburg away from home. Salzburg at home tends to be very strong. So yeah, underdog makes absolutely no sense. What about specialist? What kind of rewards do you have there? Tier 1 super rare. I mean, it's an all right game pool. What is it? Not game pool. It's an all right price pool. For this one, I don't necessarily have anything. Arsenal against Bodo Glimt. Saliba has not played any of the European games yet, which is why I'm not using him. I mean, ideally, if I knew he's playing, I would be putting him into a starting lineup. But so far, from what I can tell, I just don't know. Like, where is Arsenal right now? Let's see. Is Arsenal, where are they? Are they not Conference League? Sorry, Europa League. In the Europa League, Arsenal. Am I blind? Where is Arsenal not predicted in here at all? They're not in the Champions League, are they? Am I being dumb here? Is Arsenal in the Champions League? They're not. So why are they? Has no one predicted Arsenal then? Is that the situation that I'm looking at here? Because I am not seeing Arsenal on any of these. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. He probably has the best matchup, but I don't know. But for specialists, let's say we use these two lads. I just don't have anyone below the 40s, do I? I don't anymore. So specialist makes no sense again. If we go into rare, now this is where things get interesting. For under 23 rare pro, I do have 2 super rares. Now, Reading against Norwich City is a big game, a massive game, in between 2 very strong teams. So I can go into this lineup builder here and show you guys myself as well. So game week 311, let's delete all the lineups that we have put together already. So there we go, on the 23 rare, on the 23 rare pro, or did I go anything else? All-star rare. Let's delete that as well. And then let's go into it in the new lineup builder, just so we see even more information. So on the 23 rare pro, I do have, as I said, a couple of super rares, but so here's the situation. Second against third, away from home. Yes, they have more odds to win, but I don't necessarily love this matchup. But then again, Nunez is great in getting good AA. So even without getting a goal in that last game, he got that 90+ point game. So I'm thinking, do I pick Nunez here? Because he is an absolute fan favorite. People freaking love him in that team. And I could put him in. But then the second super rare I have is a Freiburg Sildilia against Nantes. And so far from Sildilia, I haven't necessarily seen the performances to warrant to put him into a lineup. In a super rare team, yes, maybe. But like, here's the thing. In the European matchups, the last one specifically, he has done really well. So maybe in the European matchups, he has like a different role that he has to play rather than moving forward as much. He's supposed to stay back and defend. But then again, like, it's a bit of a weird one. Do I throw him in there? Because if I do, let's say we do play under 23 rare pro. We put this guy. We put Muric in there. We put Sildilia in there. We put Nunez in there. And then in the attack, it would be, ideally, Odgaard or Šeško. Now, if we're talking about 3 goals scored, the team that is expected to score more is AZ Alkmaar, and I do think they will have the better run of a game here because Zagreb is not that easy of an opponent. Apollon, on the other hand, must be. So ideally, I would go Odegaard here. And then defensively, I really like Solé against Zagreb. Even if he concedes, I think he can do well. But then again, we also have the defensive stack with Taylor, Harvard, Bellis, and Muric that we could put together and benefit off of it. If they do well, that will be very good for me, right? But we also have players like Kökçü. We also have players like Xavi Simons. We have Šeško. We have so many players that are still like decent that we could throw into this lineup that could do well. Enzo is supposed to have a really good rating here and a good matchup, which makes no sense to me. I feel like Benfica is decent. Yes, I feel like he could get a 50 plus, of course, but do I expect Enzo to have like a really good game against PSG with the form they have at the moment? I don't know. I just don't feel like it. So ideally, I think the best thing I could do is put Solé in here, and this would be the lineup. Now, this lineup, again, has a big question mark for me with Sildilia. I don't feel too comfortable with it. So ideally, I don't go under 23 Rare Pro. But having said that, let me see the prize pools here. So for under 23 Rare Pro, there are 7-star rares. You have 42 people winning rewards. 8 to 25th is a tier 1 rare. Under 23 regular, we have, only 3-star rares. Wow, that is a big difference. And 4 to 13th is a tier 1 rare. And then 14 to 48 is tier 2. Hold on a second. 14 to 48. So it's only 6 more tier 2 rares. Like, and that's, I mean, yeah, I guess so. You could say so. Like, it goes 6 places further. Am I aiming for the bottom tier here, or am I aiming to try and win it all? And that's the thing. Like, do I want to go for, am I aiming for the top? I think I actually do. I have the players to aim for the top. You know what, man? Do I trust my guts here and just go with it? Again, like, even though the matchups aren't necessarily ideal, I do feel like I could get something out of this. Is it going to be Solé or Harvard Bellis? That's the big question. Solé only 3% bonus. Harvard Bellis with a 9.5. And let me see. Solé. I wish there was a compare stats page on Sorare data. I mean, Solé, even in games, like, he's just ridiculous, isn't he? Against AC Milan, he obviously got injured after 42 minutes, so we can't really read too much into that. Against any other European opponents, I would like to see his performances historically. Bayern Munich, obviously, 7-1 loss. That's not too great. 1-1 draw, 38 points. You can't compare these guys to Salzburg, though. Like, to Zagreb. That's the thing. Like, Solé is insane. He gets great scores. And in this previous game, he didn't necessarily have the greatest score, but he did pick up a goal. And he is a guy that is capable of getting goals and assists. So that makes him even more viable. But Zagreb, I feel like they will score 1 goal. I don't know if they will keep a clean sheet. And when we look at the clean sheet percentage here, we take away Solé. Let's go clean sheet percentage. Saliba has the highest. I just don't know if he plays. Is there any, like, hold on. Arsenal predicted lineup. Let's see. What do we have here? Arsenal predicted lineup. Who do we have latest? Is there anything? No, not Spurs. I'm looking for, who they're playing against? Arsenal's playing against the Bodo Glimt, wasn't it? Yeah, Bodo Glimt. Arsenal predicted Bodo. Let's go like that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Really? Is that the situation we're looking at? Wow, we do not have anything. No information at all. Wow, this is going to be bad, huh? I don't like that. I don't like that, because if Saliba plays, I feel like I'm missing out on a huge score. I feel like he's going to get an easy 80. Like, he has a great percentage here. Ideally, Saliba would go into this, but I could also go with the defensive stack here. Burnley at home against Stoke. Harvard Bellis and Muric together. If they get a clean sheet, I get a bonus on both of the players. I'm going to go with Harvard Bellis. So I could do this, right? This could be a lineup that we go for. And then, since I do not have another goalkeeper to put in here, we'd have to go with show NG players, put Kavlina in here. And then we're going to go with that lineup here. Solé, I think, do I go Kirktrue? I want to risk it, right? I want to try and get the most out of it. I'm going to go Kirktrue here. No, actually, no. If I want to risk it, I'm going to go for the team that's going to try and score the most goals. So 3 goals scored. Xavi Simons and PSV are expected to do better, especially after that bad performance. They need to pick it back up. Šeško goes into this one. And then Saliba, man, he is predicted to play in 3 of these people that have done predicted lineups. I might ask a couple of people about Saliba. And if I get an answer on if he's going to play, if people are pretty confident that he's going to play, I might pop him in here and, you know, try and get the best out of him. Because even with 4 players, we could still get possibly a tier 3 if these guys do as well as I expect them to do. Yeah, I guess Saliba is the one then. And then we're going to go, let's go all in. Saliba captain. I think that is possibly what I'm going to do. But up until deadline, guys, I'm just going to sit here and build these teams a million times over. So be aware that could happen. Actually, having said that, maybe, hold up. Maybe instead of playing Sildilia, where I'm going to get like 50 points, and then he's going to get like 60 something, maybe instead of that, I just go Harvard Bellis, Nunez, Odgaard, and then we go Soler. How do we feel about that? I kind of like that. Or instead of Soler, it could be Saliba. Like, maybe we just go with 1 super rare. Maybe that's the way to go. Especially after that last performance from Nunez. I feel like he could start a good run here. I mean, he has, in his L5, he has a 70, 82, and a 95. This guy is amazing. So, maybe that's the way to go. Well, who do I captain here? Do I captain any of the Burnley boys? I think I go with the captaincy of Soler because he is consistently getting high scores. So if I do that, then in the All-Star, do I go All-Star? No, I want to go under 23 still. Even though it's stupid to do this, by the way. Kavlina, Saliba, Simons, Šeško, and then Kirktrue. That team could still do a lot of damage in terms of getting good points. It's ridiculous that these guys are not in my lineup. But again, if I find out that Saliba is guaranteed to play or mostly expected to play, guys, I might make a change and I might move Saliba into under 23 Pro. This might be one of them weeks where actually using a rare over a super rare that isn't going to get guaranteed decent scores might be the way to go. But knowing my luck, Sildilia gets an 80-point game. So yeah, it is what it is. I can't do anything against it. It's a weird spot to be in. But this could be something that we throw out there and see if it sticks for this midweek. Under 23 Pro, there's only 269 managers that have so far registered for it with 42 prizes. I kind of like that. And I think it's going to be another week that might be dominated by AZ Alkmaar players. So luckily, we do have Odgaard. If he does play, that's great. Ideally, I need to get Milos Kerkez or something like that into the team as well. Or Carlson. That'd be great. But yeah, this is possibly the lineup I'm going to go for. I'm still confused. I do not guarantee that this is going to be the team. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I will catch you next time. Take care. Peace.